Hi there. Oh my god. Just notice that based on this angle, you really cannot see that Pudge is wearing anything underneath. And I'm actually not sure underneath his shirt, and I'm actually not sure that he is. Let's take a little pan together and find out, shall we? Okay, yeah, he's got a jock strap on. Anyways, he looks great. I thought, might as well show off these sweet gams since he's got them. If I had legs that look like this, I'd want to show them off too. So last episode, we finished killing Ranella. In this episode, I want to take some time to do a few things. One is to go back to Roundtable Hold, because it's been a while since I've gone through there, and I've had a few people that have recommended, like Funky Fitter, for example, I think Mucus Broth, have recommended that I go back to Roundtable Hold and investigate some stuff. And I know some other people have kind of been surprised that I think shocked was the word, that I haven't visited Roundtable Hold very often, but I'll discuss my kind of thought process behind that and maybe some design implications about that. But first I want to chat with this lady, then we'll go back to Roundtable Hold. I'm sure this will be very lore heavy because I'm going to learn a lot about it. It's been a while since I've visited there, so I'm hoping there's lots of new conversations and there'll be lots of new stuff that I can learn and gain at Roundtable Hold. And then we'll come back to Raya Lucaria Academy and do some things here. And then we're going to go back to Stormvessel Castle eventually. Maybe not in this episode. Maybe finish some stuff up there before we kind of move on to the next base. Because I know both Kyugo and Funky Fitter have given me some instructions on some areas that I can go in Stormvale Castle. So, let me just confirm that I didn't actually interact with this. Okay. And what are you? I think we've seen this before. This was in one of the shrines here. It was the Church of Pilgrimage, I believe, had this. Now, I'll say that in some games you're definitely going to find reused art assets. This looks like doesn't this look like a thing that's kind of, I know it's a plant, but if I look at it from a distance, it looks like one of those like X smiley face with like the two eyes closed and the wide mouth open. Doesn't really look like it when I zoom in. Anyways, a lot of other games you're going to find that art assets are generically used just across. If you've got a cool statue, you might just find it in various different places that have no meaning. They just needed a statue, so they kind of just put it there because it looks cool and good. But I have a feeling that here in this game, I know some of the people who I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Commented on one of the earlier videos. I'll be sure to look it up afterwards. Commented on how the games, Dark Souls games, or From Software games in general, have very diegetic cues in the game. Dork Moonblade suggested that a lot of the cues in the game, a lot of the game systems are diegetic. So it seems to me that there's a lot of attention paid to the in-game cues and stories that have been told in the game, because I know essentially all the story in this game is kind of immersive storytelling and doesn't just shove it in your face. So I'm assuming that this statue here, maybe because it's a moon sorcerer or something, moon cult, I don't know, and the pilgrimage, Church of Pilgrimage that we saw earlier are connected in some way. But anyways, we're going to talk to Lady Big Feet over here, who's got the massive stompers. You can't see her feet right now, but they were quite huge, I promise you. Enormous forearms too, wow. She's got some odd proportions. No judgment to you if you have odd proportions as well. I just thought I'd comment on that. And what does she have here? What is she cradling so closely? It's like an amber egg of sorts. I know she called it a sweetling of some sort, but we'll talk to her, see if we can get some story from her. And then we'll go to
art thou now assured of thy want to be born?
No, not yet. This is respecking. Oh, I can't even talk to her. Alright, well, tall hat lady.
Alarmed, nor afeared.
I'm not afeared.
I would birth thee as a sweeting.
Fair and fine.
Fair.
Look at how
fine.
I'm handsome enough already, lady. I don't need to be fair or finer. I'm fine enough. Look at these legs. Beautiful. And this nice tuchus I've got here. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Roundtable Hold, and see if we can get some new story updates. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so now that I'm in the Roundtable Hold, I don't remember what it was called. It's the Table of Lost Grace. Roundtable Hold, which I'm assuming is the central room. I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience at this space, and I think Dorkman Blade, I believe, forgive me if I'm wrong, was surprised at how infrequently I had visited this space. And I wanted to kind of talk about my rationale or lack of rationale as to why I haven't visited the circle more often, and there's a lot of stuff that I haven't uncovered about this, and I think that probably contributes to my lack of understanding the story. So one of the things that didn't happen for me as I got into this game, one thing that's happened to me is when I first visited the Roundtable Hold, I talked to all the people that I had seen, that I saw around. I think I did an entire tour of the area, of the space, and I talked to everybody. I think it was this guy, this really cool looking guy, who I recognized from out in the world, which is awesome. And then I went and I saw a bunch of unopened doors that I hadn't seen before, or a bunch of doors that were unopened. That's new over there. Suggesting to me that eventually the space would expand and open up. And so I thought, okay, if I revisited later, then a bunch of new stuff would be there, and I would learn new things about the world, etc., 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 as I progressed through the game. Much of those visitations to the Roundtable Hold, I don't think I actually filmed because I didn't think it'd be interesting. But as I came back occasionally, it didn't happen often. What happened was, as I talked to these people around the Roundtable Hold, within the immediate vicinity, they didn't necessarily have new things to say to me when I came back. And because of that, the game didn't reinforce me very quickly that it was valuable for me to come back and learn new lore from the people in the Roundtable Hold, because I'd say this is my fault. The fault of my own is when I came back and I talked to a couple people and they didn't have anything new to say to me, I kind of just assumed that there was nothing new to discover. So that is my fault. I think the game could have done a better job of reinforcing that this was an important place to kind of come back and re-explore often by, on initial visitation or second visitation, making sure that all of the NPCs in this immediate area had something to do or something to say that was relevant. Like after something that you had done recently, so commenting on killing things in Castle Morn, or even just having new things to say, even if I hadn't advanced the story in some way, or giving me an item to reinforce that it was an important thing to come back here often after doing things in the story. For example, I went and saw the smithy after fighting for the first time. Oh god. Fighting creatures that look like that smith for the first time, and they didn't comment on it, so I'm like, oh, okay, maybe there isn't any sort of reactivity of the world. So a lot of those things kind of contributed to me not coming back here often, just because there wasn't a lot of the game didn't reinforce to me very quickly that this was something that was going to dynamically update or update frequently enough to really be worth my time to revisit. Now we'll talk about this in a second. Now I've come to learn from the people that this is a very important place to upgrade, to get updates on the story and stuff. But because, I played Dark Souls for a while and they didn't really have their Roundtable Hold, except there was the Firelink Shrine at the beginning, right? Or is that Dark Souls 3? Anyways, this really hasn't been obvious to me that this was an important place to come back, learn about the story. I thought it was much more, the story was told much more through the world itself as opposed to coming back here and learning through the NPCs. That just wasn't reinforced to me. I'm not sure if that made sense. I apologize if this is a bit of a ramble. But yeah, I think the game created a bad habit in me early of not really telling me that this was a great place to kind of get new information about the world, because a lot of the NPCs immediately around me didn't have anything that jumped out to me as obviously new or informative as I came back here the first few times I did. Now that we've talked about that, I just want to briefly talk about physics meshes versus visual meshes. So this chair that I'm standing on has you can see that I'm floating in the air. Now, this isn't me trying to point out a bug or anything like that, but I just wanted to comment on how objects in the world usually have two different representations in the game engine. One is the visual mesh, which is the thing that we can see. So we can see this chair down here. We can see it in all its glory. It's a good looking chair. Not meant to comment on the fidelity of the chair at all. And then they also have physics meshes, which are the actual physical meshes that the player or characters in the world or projectiles or spells will interact with when they come into contact with this object. Usually in this game, the physics meshes and the physical meshes have been very accurate. Like if you go over here, here for example, this sword, all these things have like quite accurate physics meshes. As I go up, you can see my legs snapping directly on top of this staff thing here, which means that there's a physics mesh here, and that represents the shape of this thing I'm standing on, and the IK, or the animation of the player character of my model is trying to snap down to this thing. You know, but if I go over here, look, it doesn't snap down because it's got a very accurate physics mesh. Oh, it's a sword on the sword handle. Very accurate physics mesh. However, yeah, I mean, this is just, I'm just floating on it because the center of my player capsule, which is kind of like the player's body, is like on top of the handle and my feet aren't snapping to the sides. That's not a big deal. That's not me trying to point out a bug. However, because this object here is a destructible chair, the physics assets, or the physics mesh, so the thing that actually, like the actual physical object of the chair outside of the, or within the physics mesh, or the visual mesh, is very simplified because the player, I don't know, I guess they didn't really anticipate the player jumping on these chairs. That's a bit of a bug, not a big deal, but it's a great opportunity to talk about the difference between the visual mesh, which is the thing that we can see here right in front of us, and the physics mesh, damn it, which is really simplified and essentially just like probably a big capsule, because I think capsules are quite, quite cheap for the game to render, which is cool. So most of the game's assets in the game have very well-aligned physics mesh and visual meshes, but because it's a destructible asset, they can probably simplify the physics mesh quite a bit because, you know, if the player runs into it, they're just going to blow up anyway, so who cares if it's got a simplified physics mesh. And the more detailed the geometry is of a physics mesh and a visual mesh, the more intense it is for the game to run, requires more memory, etc., etc. So they probably simplified a lot of the physics meshes on the destructible assets because they didn't really care. Doesn't matter because it's going to get broken anyways. I digress. Anyways, we are back at the Roundtable Hold after killing Ranella for the first time, and the only time, and we're going to see if we can learn some more about the game world, see how much this Roundtable Hold is expanded, and see if we can learn some new stuff.
Ah, you appear to be doing well. Very good.
This guy looks like a guy I went to high school with.
Would you like
He
to
bullied
learn an
me.
incantation?
And so I don't like this guy. So this guy, okay, talk.
There's something I should mention to you as well.
Okay.
I'm thinking of leaving the Roundtable Hold.
Oh, why?
Do you know of the noble Gold Mask? Though he was but a tarnished, living outside the lands between.
That's not where we are.
He was a great scholar who foresaw the coming guidance of grace. And now, I hear he has come to the lands between alone to contemplate the Golden Order.
Ooh.
I wish nothing more than to seek his instruction.
Ooh, I'd like to meet him
Perhaps
too,
even
actually.
in his research.
What was his name? Goldface? Gold Mask? Gold Dust? Interesting. So
May the Golden Order shine through you.
So maybe these people all had new things to say to me, except for because I...
Further study of incantations, is it? I can happily spare the time and applaud your enthusiasm.
I expected them to greet me with a new, which you might call voiceover, or like line of voiceover, but maybe I have to talk to them and go into their dialogue tree in order to gain access to
Hello there.
the new updated dialogue.
What can I do for you?
I mean, new updated dialogue about like what's happening in the world, or updates based on what I've done in the
I
world.
serve the Golden Order,
Mm-hmm.
that I might put this crooked land to rights,
Okay,
following only the guidance of the great Elden Ring.
sounds good.
Those who live in death fall outside the principles of the Golden Order.
So you don't like...
Their mere existence serves
Tarnished?
the guidance of gold, tainting its truth. And so it is the vermin must be exterminated,
Oh, this guy's a racist.
down to the very last.
Or speciest, undeadest. Aren't we like undead? Doesn't it say Rye, oh ye something tarnished? Weren't we like a living dead in some way? So what kind of incantations do you have? I'm sure those are great, but I am too poor. Okay. So I was assuming that because I killed Ranella, which seemed to be, I think they're optional, but a fairly major optional character, that there'd be updated dialogue. So I think I came here before and talked to this lady, but I'm not sure.
Pleasure to see you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank goodness you're safe.
Oh, why do you care about
I'm
me?
still looking for my own purpose.
Okay.
It's not easy by any means, but it's what I must do.
Shh.
It's all a bit much for me, in truth. I'm still looking for my own purpose.
Who are you? I don't recall meeting this person in the world, and I don't recall, I guess, when the first time I talked to this person, what they said. Okay. Good to know. Seems like D and I are going to have a problem in the future. Because I thought for some reason I was undead. Like, are we foul, dead, tarnished? Because aren't the tarnished, like, coming back to life? And so I'd be undead? I don't know. Interesting. So I think D and I might have to fight in the future. Which would be awesome, because I would love his armor. Okay, this is new. Are you the crone? Finger reader crone? You are, but you're not in lordosis prone position. Oof. Or no, you're not the finger reader crone. You look. Are you her sister? I mean, a slightly slimmer sister. No, I mean, no body shaming anyone.
I had my doubts, but look at you.
Oh, I'm right in her face.
Only once before have I seen two great runes together.
Okay, we have two great runes.
Look there, the fingers.
What?
shudder
Oh
with
my goodness.
exuberance. Fine work, brave tarnished. The greater will is pleased. You have earned the right to become Elden Lord.
I mean,
Now, seek the Erd Tree and an audience with Queen Marika to become Elden Lord
so
and restore the Golden
Queen Marika is still a.
The fingers expect as much from you as they do young Gideon. Take this.
Just push me away. Talisman pouch.
Now, go forth. Become Elden Lord.
Okay, let's just hold on. So Marika, Queen Marika. I'm trying to remember what they told us about Marika. I don't remember. Honestly, it's been kind of too long. But obviously, is Marika the person that the guy left Ranella for? Is that right? I don't remember the Ranella's ex-husband's name, but so Talisman Pouch is going to give us another. Oh, nice, awesome. Well, thank you to everyone who recommended that come back, because even just having another Talisman Pouch seems like it's super worth it. Okay, interesting. Oh, I wonder if the fingers. Interesting, because I have how many Elden Lord remembrance the grafted. Oh, so you get a remembrance for take the power of its namesake via finger eater. Take the power of its namesake via finger eater. Okay, you are a finger eater, right? And so it seems like as I get more of these Elden souls, Elden runes, greater runes, this space might dynamically update to get more fingers, I'm guessing. Well, one of those fingers is pretty beat up. It'd be nice if the fingers had some sort of like visual representation on them to say, oh, this finger represents, if my assumption is right. But it'd be nice to show if this finger represents defeating Ranella, and this finger represents defeating Godric. What you got for me?
You have returned. What is it?
Oh no. Receive power from remembrance. Receive equipment of oh, this. Okay, let's learn about Marika first.
Queen Marika is the vessel of the Elden Ring, carrier of its vision. A god in truth. But after the Elden Ring's shattering, she was imprisoned in the Erd Tree. A grim punishment for shattering the Order. Despite her.
So she just shattered the. Ooh.
The fingers speak. Marika's trespass demanded a heavy.
So she shattered the Elden Ring.
But even in shackles, she remains a god and the vision's vessel. Confer great runes to become Elden Lord and join Queen Marika as her consort.
Okay.
The fingers have willed it so.
Well, I don't know if I want to do the fingers will. Okay, so interesting.
Now go forth.
So.
Let the words of the fingers
Of the
guide
fingers. Good. Okay, thank you. Good to know. So she. I assumed that you were supposed to gather the fragments of the Elden Ring, but Marika destroyed the Elden Ring, and then someone, I mean, I guess I missed that detail, imprisoned her in the Erd Tree. So we have to go to the Erd Tree as our destination. I think that was always our destination, but now I guess we know why that was our destination, is because we have to free Marika from it. Okay, so that door that was closed before is still closed. I am not talking to you. I'll talk to you, but I'm not gonna. We're not going to lay a breast in your bosom, as they might speak in this game.
Would you like me to hold you?
No,
Once more?
you succubus. You're just gonna steal our health. No, this is the first time we're gonna say no in this game.
Then good day to you, my dear.
Oh, she's pissed. She got turned down, and she doesn't like it. You can thank Mucus Broth for me turning you down, because they're the one that told me that you just steal my life. Okay, are you gonna comment on the fact that I just gathered another Elden soul? Great soul.
Where have you been hiding?
I've been
I took you
fucking
for
shit up
dead.
in the world. You say every time I come here.
It's all the same. Lay out your arms then.
I will comment on something that I think this game could maybe do better. Maybe not better, but this is maybe a point of discussion, is that games sometimes will do more generic introductions for characters like this that you revisit often. And so when they have something like, oh, I took you for dead, and they say that every single time you come and see them, it's like, okay, yeah, that's kind of weird. It makes it seem, the character seem artificial in a way. Unless this character just really doesn't give a shit about us. And they could say something a little bit less defining and a little bit less, I don't know, like presumptive, like, oh, haven't seen you in a while. Lay out your arms then. All those things are great. But the I took you for dead each time kind of like reminds you, oh yeah, this is an NPC that doesn't have anything new to say. Which I guess is a good thing and a bad thing.
Who's early boy?
Oh.
She's crestfallen and can scarcely swing a blade.
I brought her there?
But she has a gift for spirit tuning.
Oh.
I saw another one like her long ago. Their eyes share the same hue.
Okay. So that must be the girl standing by the fire. She was sitting near one of the shacks, is that it? I'm sorry, I have been paying attention to as much as I can this game, but it's just, I've been playing it for it seems like a long time, and I never really played in enormously long chunks. Like, I'm a reasonably busy person, so, I mean, much like a lot of people, I'm not complaining anyway. So stuff, I guess, happens and I forget about it. I also have a terrible memory. Now, I know I've got a few stone sword keys, but I'm going to hold on to them for now, because I think these gargoyles deserve to keep having fun together. So I'm going to come back later, and let's keep talking. So that's good. I mean, at the very least, I learned about what Marika is, and that she wants me to be her lover, lucky lady, or her consort. I don't know. You know, I'd be lying if I said I knew the precise definition of consort. Consort meaning her advisor? Are you the Rodrigo? Are you the guy that helped me kill? No. Who? The guy that helped me kill Margaret?
Ah, we meet again after all.
Oh, it is. Wait, are you covered in
I apologize
flies?
for any offense given by my bearing.
What?
But I'm quite unable to move.
What
you
happened?
See. So, what do you need?
Why is he covered in flies, and what's going on?
Ah, you defeated Godric and claimed yourself a great rune.
I guess so.
Looks like we both got what we wanted out of Stormvale, didn't we?
What did you want again?
Well done, friend.
You just wanted to...
Something to mark the occasion. Go on, take it.
Mucus Broth mentioned this rapier. I'll probably... Oh! Pudge is very excited.
As you might have guessed, I still can't move. My fighting days are behind me.
I must have missed this point
No
that
need
he's...
to be polite. I've no use for it anymore.
Interesting. What do you have for skills? Oh, I can't use any of these, but that's cool. About D. Yeah, tell me about D. I think D's, D might be short for
D is an old
dick.
friend.
I don't know, I think
We
D and I are
found
gonna fight
ourselves
soon.
journeying together for a time, bound by our exploration of death.
Okay.
But our paths have since diverged, never again to cross.
Well, I mean, he's
Though that's
sitting in the other
hardly
room.
uncommon fate for two friends.
He's sitting like 10 feet away, buddy.
D was telling me. that he discovered the mark of the centipede.
Yeah, I remember
The
that.
centipede is an ancient symbol of the curse mark.
He was doing that.
As long as whoever finds and uses it is not nefarious by nature, then we may be able to form an alliance. If only I could speak to them in person. And if they were like you...
Oh, what a sweetheart. Okay. Yeah, D, but I think D is a bit of a useless D, if I shall call him a bit of a D. Because he just stood there while we killed that boat guy.
Did you need something else?
Tell me about, yeah, Rogier.
With a man named Rogier.
Yes, I am.
You know, the piteous fellow hiding away on the balcony. He was a formidable spellblade in times past.
Yeah, he just helped me kill...
Don't let his easy air deceive you. He was wise beyond his years, stout of heart and clear of mind. No more, though. You see him now, ravaged by thorns, muttering and rambling, like he's half dead already.
What?
I can't stomach to watch.
Am I missing something?
Take well the lesson, friend. That's how you end up when seduced by those who live in death.
Is this guy just...
grace is sullied, it rots people from the inside. Breaks them.
Okay, so he's... Oh, because Rogier had... He's being... Is he being decomposed or something? Because there's flies around him. He's got a blanket over him. I mean, they should have arted that up a little bit better because we can see through and see that his legs are fine. But I guess he's decomposing? Is what they're suggesting?
Oh, still...
I guess so, but I don't know. Maybe he worked with death because he has like incantations that are death-like and not good. Oh, I did come here before, and almost countered my point of not having updates. There was that person who was standing here that was like a corpse or whatever, and I picked up their armor. So that did reinforce it, but that coming back here is often. But I just, my original point, I think, is just like having... it would have been beneficial to have had more of the people immediately around the table have new things to say earlier in the game to kind of re-encourage me to come back. You were around the table, so you were you not?
You've received the wisdom of the two fingers, have you not?
I suppose I have.
Then I bid you welcome. As a true member of the Round Table,
have you gotten it too?
I am known as Gideon Ofnir.
Gideon the All-Knowing, right?
Before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord, I am accumulating knowledge to be all-knowing.
Wasn't he always
you now belong
already?
to a select group of fellows. As such, I ask that you remain constant.
Okay. So, because we have two great souls, two great runes, we're now a member of the Round Table proper. Does that mean that everybody else around here has killed like two Elden Lords? Or like two Elden, two things that have great runes? Man, Hunk, you're looking... Pudge, you're looking good. I think I comment on Pudge's appearance way too often. Anyways, was this not the guy that said, "Rise, O Gideon Ofnir, the All-Knowing"?
You'll be after more great runes now, eh?
Yeah, Jon Snow.
Then as your fellow, allow me to divulge a little knowledge.
Please do.
The inheritors of the great runes, the Shard Bearers.
Okay.
We of the Round Table know the location of 5
Oh.
of them, including the one you defeated.
Who?
Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. General Radahn, who fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds.
Okay.
Praetor Rykard, Lord of the Volcano Manor of Mount Gelmir.
Okay.
Morgoth, the Grace-Given, Veiled Monarch and Lord of Lame Dell.
Okay.
And Renala, Queen of the Full Moon.
Okay. Already took her down.
Ruler of Raya Lucaria's
205.
Academy.
Got her already.
You'll still be after more great runes. Won't
Comment. Update your... Oh, damn. I apologize. This episode is going to be almost entirely me talking to people. But it's something that's important for me to do, and so maybe I'll put some timestamps in after I get out of this place. Maybe I won't even be able to get out of here by the time the approximate hour is up. We'll see. Let's learn about Ensha.
Oh, my apologies for that nasty business.
Who? Sorry?
Ensha got rather ahead of himself, it seems. As his master, I'd like to express my regret. But now, Ensha is slain and
I
gone.
feel like I'm missing
Finished.
something.
forevermore.
I guess.
Ah, yes. By way of apology, allow me to tender some advice in regard to the half of the secret medallion you possess.
Okay.
Find the Albinoric woman. She hides in a cave to the west of the Laskia ruins, which jut from the mist-shrouded lake of Liurnia.
She hides in the west
She
of the
knows
Laskia
the
ruins.
location of the medallion's counterpart, I'm sure.
Oh shit. Okay. Hold on. So he was the guy that was in the village of the Albinorics. Oh man. Okay, I know. Oh shit, I should have written stuff down. So many words. Can you tell me exactly what you just said?
I see you found another.
Okay, so it's now it's updated based on
Wonderful.
Ranella.
You are a worthy fellow tarnished indeed.
I mean, I'm the best.
Make the journey to the capital, Lendel, that lies to the east of the Altus Plateau, at the foot of the Erd Tree. The Two Fingers will deny your passage no longer. You may be our best hope. Find your way to the Elden Rings, for we are tarnished, and we must answer the call of grace.
So you only need to get 2 great runes in order to kind of like fight the main boss? Is that what it's suggesting? Like the end boss? Anyways, yeah, like what it seems to me is like there's the game does. I feel like I have a pea brain when I'm playing this game. Does tell you a lot of information, like where I was just supposed to meet this person that had the other half of the medallion that I got at the village of the Albinorics, but it seems like it has this lore that it's built into the game, and it's going to tell you it, but that is just essentially going to give you context for the things that you might stumble upon in the world. I know there are some players that are absolutely going to be like, oh, you know, look up in Google, like, oh, how do I get the other half of this plate that I have, or the medallion I have, or they're actually paying full attention and totally understand what this guy just told us, and then maybe wrote it down. But that kind of just went over my head. It's like he commented on the medallion so quickly, and then just said a bunch of areas and names so quickly that I just couldn't follow. So I really like to know where he said to see that person again to get the other half of the medallion.
Find the Albinoric woman.
Okay.
She hides in a cave to the west of the Laskia ruins.
Laskia ruins.
From the mist-shrouded lake of Liurnia. She knows the location of the medallion's counterpart, I'm sure.
Okay, the Laskia ruins, a cave to the west of the Laskia ruins. Let's do some Rose Church, Temple Quarter, Revenger Shack, Minor Retreat, Road's End Countercomb, Village of the Albinorics. So we have not discovered the Laskia ruins, the 4 belfries. All right, well, so we haven't discovered the Laskia ruins yet. Maybe it's... Oh! A cave to the west of the Laskia ruins. Okay. Now, caves, as they are embedded in mountainsides or like hillsides. And since this is a lake, the only hillsides nearby is this hill, which I don't think we saw anything for. And then up here, which we rode along, but also, yeah, no, I remember getting to this corner here in a previous episode and being like, oh, there was nothing here. Like, and kind of being disappointed about it. So a cave to the west. All right, I'm gonna put a thing here, and then maybe I'll start an episode after I've found that. I wish I could write down notes. That'd be awesome. You know what? I'm gonna type up notes because that's what a good boy does. All right, written. This is old school. Having to write down notes.
Capital, Lendel, to the east of
Okay.
the Altus Plateau.
Yeah.
At the foot of the Erd
I'll get there eventually. I got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah,
that's fine.
May be our best hope.
Ooh, I feel like I'm about to run into some lore that I can't handle. Okay. Godric.
So, Godric the Grafted.
We killed
Lord of
Godric.
Stormvale. Despite being the blood of Godfrey, first Elden Lord, he's a grotesque old fool grasping for power.
Grasping with
His
many
castle
arms,
lies
though.
upon
Pretty
the cliff
efficient.
to Limgrave's northwest, but I suspect you know that well enough already.
So that's probably dynamically updated. Okay.
So, Godric, despite being the blood of his
Okay.
castle lies, I suspect you.
I'm glad that they just leave this information up. So these are all the people who we could get the great runes from, I'm assuming?
General Radahn, the famed Red Lion and Scourge of the Stars, is a ferocious warrior.
Wow, what an intro.
He fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid, and now Caelid has been engulfed by the Scarlet Rot. Even approaching the region is no mean feat. I've heard survivors of Radahn's army are still in the wilds, staving off the rot with fire.
Okay.
And if it's true, I suspect Radahn is still there as well, in Caelid.
Okay.
Though, I doubt he much resembles his former self anymore. Praetor Rykard is the Lord of the Volcano Manor on Mount Gelmir. He is a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of inquisitors, reviled for his serpentine demeanor. The volcano, Mount Gelmir, lies in the west of the Altus Plateau, the realm of the Erd Tree. It was the stage of the most appalling
realm of the
Erd Tree. Entirety of the Shattering.
So that's where the Erd Tree is.
Had committed the grave sin of blasphemy, marking himself as an enemy never to be forgiven.
Oh, I mean, blasphemy against who? Who really cares?
Morgoth the Grace-Given is Lord of Leyndell, the capital city. It lies at
Morgoth
the foot of the Erd Tree,
is not
in the east of the Altus Plateau. But the Two Fingers forbid us from venturing there.
I don't know, I just heard that I was not forbidden.
Until we've acquired enough great runes to repair
oh, you mean like I have?
Ring. Set your sights elsewhere for the time being. The Veiled Monarch can wait.
Well, I mean, I can go because I'm a cool Elden guy. You can't because you're not cool enough.
The Academy of Raya Lucaria lies to Limgrave's north, towering over the mist-laden lands of Liurnia. Rationale is queen of the Carian royals, who govern the Academy. But Rationale herself is no demigod.
Clearly.
Her beloved Radagon left her to become Queen Marika's second husband, taking the title of King Consort.
King Consort.
The Great Rune dwells within the Amber Egg that was Radagon's gift to her.
Okay, so we got that. Alright. Cool. This guy likes books. Just head down. Must be a fast reader. Unlike me, I'm a very slow reader. He has the Witch King's helmet, essentially, right? Or Sauron? Witch King? Looks an awful like the Witch King. Cool helmet. Okay, what else have we got here? I recall you. You were just a vendor, not just a vendor.
I wonder if you've met my foster father.
I don't know. Have I?
If you haven't already, I advise you introduce yourself.
And who is he?
Father is leader of the Roundtable.
Oh, the Roundtable is
I'm sure
leader.
Talking to him will be worth your while.
Who is he? Okay. Okay.
It's about time I headed off.
Okay.
I'll see you again, warrior, should the fates deign it.
Okay. Who's your daddy?
It's about time.
And what does he do?
Off. I'll see you again.
And you two are the people that I give a thing to so that I can get more items unlocked, right? Off of Bellbearing, right? Do I have multiple? No, whatever. Okay, so what can I get from you? Oh, right, a whole whackload of stuff. My god. White ciphering. Sliver of meat, yeah. Those used for a bunch of stuff. Turtleneck is something. So I think I've talked to everybody. Maybe I missed something? I think that's everything. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Raya Lucaria because I know there's a couple pathways I didn't. Actually, I'm gonna talk to you just for a moment after that Smith talked shit about you.
It's all a bit much for me. I'm still
okay,
looking.
whatever. Shut up. Sorry, that was very rude of me. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Raya Lucaria quickly and see if I can. Go up that in that central area. That was the. Not the main academy, the Church of Cuckoo, the schoolhouse classroom, the debate parlor. There seemed to be a couple of different ways we could go once we branched off from the debate parlor. Okay, I know there's a big machine somewhere that I need to be able to kill at some point. I probably will have to kill now that I'm exploring the center. Because one play, maybe I have gone everywhere. I've gone up there. I need to find out what's in that room. I need to find a way to get in there somehow. I think there's a thing there. Okay, you and me, machine. Oh no, machine. Come get some. No, wrong one. I can't. I really wish I could cancel spells. I mean, that's totally my fault, but that does a lot of damage. Oh, you're not a really good machine. You're just a weak machine. You're nothing like your big, scary lightning mouth brother that I fought before. Oh, you're nothing. I mean, you're not nothing, but I'm sure you're big and scary and just very capable, autonomous machine. But compared to the other machine I fought, I'm much less scary. And dodge roll, dodge roll, dodge roll, dodge roll. Oh, I bought the Black Flame thing. It seems like it's probably a good idea to have different kinds of damage types. Oh! Whoa! What a nice little surprise that was. Okay, well then I guess I'm gonna go up there and see if I can get into that space. With some platforming, perhaps. And then maybe I can travel up top there and kill whoever's trying to drop those fucking boulders on my head. Give him a nice, gruesome, slow death, too. I'm gonna find, what's his name? The big Bob-omb from Super Mario 64 that you fight in the first level. Oh, we didn't go underneath these stairs yet. Oh, it's just a portal. That looks an awful lot like the portal from the Zelda's Twilight Princess that would travel through as the wolf. Okay. Ah, yes. A little platforming here. Ah. Oh, wait. Oh, damn. Is there like a kickdown ladder here that I could have kicked down that would have... Or is this just another shortcut to get up here without having to go up to the boulder? I guess so. Oh, so the game just gave you some options, which I guess is nice. They gave us an option to either get up to the boss fight by going to the... Oh no, there is a ladder. Who is the boulder dropper? Oh, Pudge, you look so good. I gotta stop him. I'm objectifying. I'm not even I'm not even attracted to men, but I'm objectifying my character in Elden Ring. Not. Okay, die. You fuckers are gonna die. I'm gonna get you with the biggest flame of frenzy you've ever seen. You deserve to be ended! Shit. Yep. Oh my god. Maybe that's why they gave us a shortcut. Because they knew I was gonna fucking die here. Let's okay, yep, nothing going on wrong here. Everything's fine. Okay, everything's fine. Oh shit, there's more of you too. Excuse me, Buckethead. Maybe get a little backstab. Alright. Now it's you, me, Pumpkin Boy. Halloween's over, friend. And you're out of... I don't know, I was trying to do some cool Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liner. Did not work. Oh, this guy does this forever, right? Let's pillar abuse you, or get pillar abused. So can I charge that up? Alright, let's fight. You and I. Whoa! Oh fuck! Oh no. Okay, well. Good fight. Good chap. Oh, so they're not dropping the bolters now? Because I attacked them? Okay, I'm just gonna unload on this SOB. Oh, that does a lot of damage. Until it hits his noggin. Can I get you to fall down the stairs? I forgot about you. Can one of you come down here and just fight me down here? That'd be really nice. Just drop down, if you wouldn't mind. I'm really curious how their AI is going to handle this, because I don't think that one guy's small enough to use a ladder. And so I'm assuming yeah, this guy's going to come down. Yeah. What's the pumpkin man going to do? He's just going to wait for me up there and then spank me when I get up? I'm guessing so, right? Like, how do I sprint? Okay, he's going back. That's nice. That's nice that they don't kind of totally screw you over if you... This is an interesting, precarious situation I'm in here. Yo! Yeah, okay. Hi. Can you... Okay. Oh, fuck. Good hit. Shit. Yeah. 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 Alright, round 3. Can't stop these legs. Can't stop these hips. I'm not gonna forget about you this time. Oopsies. Oops. That's gonna be suboptimal. Sure. So this is a hot, hey? Or sorry, a dot. Does it? Can I charge it up? Okay. You know what? I'm okay with that. Fuck that guy. Alright. Sanctuary Stone, that is something to do with multiplayer, right? Oh, so those guys who are operating this don't respond. Oh, so that was a way for me to make the boss run simpler and easier. Interesting. Okay. I feel like I should need to eat some of my words about boss runs being more difficult in this game. Maybe that's something that I can learn. I hope that's something that they continue for the future boss fights, is that you have ways of shortcuts of making the fight of the run to the boss simpler. And maybe that's something that I'm going to be looking for in the future, or that I should. Don't scare. That I will look for in the future is like ways to make the fights, the runs to the boss a lot simpler. Okay, I'm going to pause this again because I've had some thoughts after editing the video about how I'm less fond of this design than I originally that I was when I was playing through. So I appreciate From Software giving us the ability to make the runs back to bosses easier. But my problem with that design at a high level, and I'm not going to offer a solution, I'm just going to state why I think it's not perfect, which is probably a bad thing to even debate about, but whatever. I just thought it was an interesting thought I want to share with you. The reason why I think that's not a perfect or great design necessarily, even though it makes it easier to get back for the player to get back to the boss, is that these are things that the player these are things like shortening the boss runs that the player may only discover are part of the boss run after they initially engage with the boss, unless they can clearly read that the pathway that they're on leads to a boss, like one of the fog walls or whatever. So the one up to Ranella, you could probably assume or guess that there's a boss because there's a big corridor or a big courtyard leading to a big door. So you could maybe think, oh, okay, yeah, maybe there's a boss there, but you don't necessarily know that for a fact. So after you go and you fight the boss, and assuming die the first time, which I do and I'm assuming other people do often, the player has to retrieve their souls from that boss. And exploring around for a solution that might make the boss run safer probably isn't the priority for most players when they want to get their runes back and or kill a boss. So I found myself after I die fighting a boss with a pretty one-track mind of getting back to the boss so I could reclaim my runes and then fight the boss again, trying to kill the boss, but most importantly, not losing my runes. Exploring new areas is always a risk in this game, and it's not something that I necessarily want to do when needing to reclaim my runes. It's not my top priority when I have runes waiting out there for me. I want to get those runes back. However, if the player does know that this path they're on does in fact lead to a boss, or if the player fails to claim the runes upon upon fighting the boss, or they die en route to a boss, then they're kind of free to explore the environment surrounding the boss to see if they can get a shorter, more efficient running path to the boss. And that maybe gives players a bit of a reprieve from beating their head against the boss constantly to doing something that might make their experience fighting the boss a little bit better. So there is that to it. This one's got weight. You resistances weight 5.1. What is it? Oh, that looks ridiculous. I like how they just do such silly stuff in these games. Okay, let me put my headband down and then actually read this. Blue-green scarab born directly in the head. These scarabs roll clumps of sorcery during their labor. So this is the cost of SP to source, but increases damage taken. Oh, I mean that's probably good for someone. And then, do I have any sort of aha! Golden rune 7, cool. This probably makes up for all the runes I just lost when I didn't retrieve my souls. And that leads me to the gate. Nice. So I hope that oh, this poor guy died, outstretched arm, reaching for the Erd Tree. Don't they not care for the Erd Tree because they're moon people? I don't know. But I hope they offer that again in the future. If there's kind of a more difficult boss run, they give the player opportunities to shortcut it by, you know, doing something interesting. So I'm going to go back to this area that I saw. Oh, no. There was something that I had forgotten. I'm going to do a little bit of rooftop traversal because there was an item that I'd forgotten on the rooftop. So I'm going to go over there and see if I can get that.